Good morning, everybody. This is John Marling, Pulse Research, on behalf of the Pulse team and Sammy Pampert of Wormhole. Appreciate very, very much the opportunity to get together this morning. As I mentioned a moment ago, my gosh, we got a great webinar planned this morning. What we're going to go over is some great new ideas to break through and get the appointment, including, those tough ones, those prospects who you just haven't been able to, get their attention and break through and get the appointment. So I'm excited to go over the ideas this morning, but a couple quick things to share with you. The idea that we're going to go over this morning, I think it's one of the best in years, is in the new Pulse email program. And it's a program that we designed to provide you with a very easy, just a click, to create and populate an email that will share with the business the opportunity of your audience, and that's the key, of your audience for their business. And we have with us this morning Mr. Bradley Stout, who's with the NJ Advance in New Jersey, and he came up with an idea that he's going to share with us this morning that has been absolutely incredible in breaking through. He said he had sent an email to an attorney at 10:30, and at 10:35, the attorney emailed back wanting more information and wanting to get together. He said he sent out 30 emails and got 5 appointments. I chatted with Brad this morning, and he's got some updated results for us. Another person using Brad's idea got 9 appointments. And so I'd like to welcome this morning a very special guest, Mr. Bradley Stout, if I'm pronouncing that right, of NJ Advance in New Jersey, who's going to share with us his ideas this morning on breaking through and getting the appointment. Brad, welcome. We sure appreciate you taking the time to be with us this morning, and everybody's anxious to hear your thoughts and your special idea, your breakthrough on getting appointments.
I appreciate it, John. Happy to be with you as well. Do you just want me to take a few minutes here and start diving into it?
Yes, please. Everybody's anxious to hear your idea and your update and the results you're getting.
Yeah. So again, happy to be here. So the breakthrough idea was when John shared with us his new email tool within Pulse. And backtrack a little bit, my company is very fortunate to have a lot of sales tools available to us. And John did not pay me to say this, but I use Pulse more than anything else. So when I heard there was a new idea coming out with the email, I was excited in the first place. When I was looking over John's template, I sent it out at least 50, 60 times. And I thought, you know what, why isn't this great information getting the traction or the attention it deserves? And a part of it dawned on me. I was always a rep that likes to be in front of people, always likes to cold call, stop in. So emails was new to me in the sense of, with COVID, doing it as my main source of contact. I could no longer go stop into the people I want to, like John said, those tough prospects that you just could not get in front of. And my thinking was, what will get people to want to engage with this email? And it was a kind of a simple result or answer to the question was, tell them what they want to hear. My theory is you can write the best email out there, but if nobody opens it, it doesn't really matter. So with everybody getting all sales reps in our industry and all industries going virtual, the easy thing to do is blast out a ton of emails. The only problem with that is all these prospects are getting a ton of emails. So they're used to by now seeing salesy emails. So what I thought was, why don't we just change it up a little bit? Keep the email very similar to what it was, but change the subject line. So my thought and my theory is, and the idea I'm using that's getting a lot of attraction, is just put the answer to the Pulse Research survey directly in the subject line. For instance, I have a template that all I do is change one word in the subject, one word in the email using John's email information, and I send it out. So the subject line could read, I need a lawyer. I need a dentist. I need a landscaper. Something that you know, if the person on the other side of that email, the business owner, if you're the right contact, if they have any business sense in their brain, they're going to open that email. It's a warm lead. It's a client right off the bat. So when they open it, then I go into explaining a little bit of at NJ Advanced Media, just tell them a little bit more about ourselves. We own Lehigh Valley Live, NJ.com, a few of the print publications in the area. Now, we recently had a third party called Pulse Research conduct a survey amongst our readership. And this is where I fill in the blank again. Lawyers was one of the top segments people responded to that they plan to shop in 2021. It's pretty simple up front like that. All I then do is provide them one or two of the lines of the Pulse Research survey as bullet points under that. And I just say, I want to see if you had time next week for me to stop by or give you a call. I love to learn a little bit more about your business and discuss how we're using our proven strategy to get your message in front of the right audience at the right time, turning them into your clients. And it's simple as that. And I've been sending that out. I know John said I got 5 appointments in the first 30 emails I sent out. I probably sent out around 100 since I last talked to John. And that last 100, I have 13 more appointments.
Fantastic.
It's not earth-shattering. It's one of those keep it simple, but it's very effective. Like I said, people are now over the last year due to COVID, especially in New Jersey, are kind of numb to the fact they're getting an increased amount of emails. It's kind of how do you separate yourself from the rest of the people trying to get these people attention? And the subject line is the main difference. Like I said, a lot of these people are passing a lot of good emails, or once they let their guard down enough to say, you know what, that's not a sales email, and they click on it, that's when they get the rest of the information. And John said, all of my appointments were the first time I reached out to these people. These aren't people I've been hounding, or they know who I am, or this is the 6th, 7th, 8th contact I try to get in front of. All these appointments were first time reaching out. And again, it's definitely warranting a conversation with you. Now, once you have the appointment, it's on you to close the business. But I think that's what all of our salespeople are good at. We're good at closing. It's just in a time like this where these people are getting bombarded by salespeople and emails, because like I said, back to emails, the thing with them is you can send hundreds. So these people are getting a ridiculously higher amount of emails from salespeople than they were before. So because there's a lot of people working virtually. So it's how do you separate yourself from the rest of the noise they're seeing in their inbox? And it's been a way that's been very effective for me and others on my team. I spoke to my manager this morning, and one of my other people on my team set 2 appointments yesterday with the emails. So it's definitely something that's working for us. And I think it's one of those things that's nice that it should work across all industries. It's not industry specific. Like I said, my template, I have almost like a pre-form of just put the industry in the subject line, put the industry one time in the sorry, I just saw the message pop up, but one time in the body of the email, and it's ready to be sent. So you can send a bunch of them out, right, like you would anywhere else. But it doesn't have to be overly customized. It's a pretty simple idea.
And you also shared with me this morning, Brad, that not only did you get the appointment, but you had some one-time closes, one-visit closes, right?
Yeah, I spoke with a gentleman this morning. He builds sunrooms. I sent the email to him last Wednesday. He said, hey, I never marketed before, but interested in hearing what you have to say. He was always a word-of-mouth guy. We talked Friday to just get a little more information about his company. Called him this morning, went through my idea of getting his information in front of our clients, and he signed by the time the phone call was over. So it's one of those things that just the buying power, in our market, we like to use the term buying power. The buying power of our audience is the greatest buying power amongst any audiences in our state. I had the luxury for working for a very well-established, very recognizable brand. But people like to know that our audience is planning on spending over billions of dollars, and for them just to take a small piece of that pie would more than make their year. So it's not, like John alluded to in the beginning, it's the power of our audience as publishers really drives this market home. It's not like you really separate yourself from other groups that strictly rely on Google or Facebook's market or anything like that. Your buying power of your audience really separates yourself, and really it really gets you a lot of credibility up front. It's, hey, I already have your audience you're looking for. Let's just find ways for you to get in front of them. And with that ROI calculator that's built into Pulse as well, there's really no need for it to be a 2, 3, 4, 5 call close. It should be pretty easy once you're in front of them with this information.
Well, I sure appreciate it, Brad. And I just want to salute you again with just a phenomenal appreciation for your very effective but simple idea of changing the subject line in the email to I need a lawyer, I need a chiropractor, I need a hearing aid exam, etc. So thank you so much. We appreciate it. We've also got with us this morning Michael Goldstein and Rhonda Barlow. And so if either of you'd like to hop on, unmute yourselves and share any further success stories or ideas, we'd sure appreciate it.
Yeah, this is Mike. Thanks, John. I just wanted to kind of, in piggybacking off of what Brad was talking through, it's on a high level of it, looking at it, is all we're doing with the subject line is answering the question that the audience has already told us that they need to know. So we're telling them what the audience is telling us. And if only us and the audience know this information, it does the businesses no good. So we're telling them, and that's really why I think this has caught on so well, is because they're finally understanding, that we're conveying that message that, what, the audience has spoken out, they've done the survey, they're looking for information, and here's what they said. And we're just relaying that. And I think that connection between us giving that message through this email is driving a lot of that success. And of course, Brad did a great job kind of thinking this through prior to and setting it all up. But at the bottom of it all, I think that's why it's resonating so well.
Well, I sure appreciate that, Michael. Rhonda, do you have any success stories and ideas you'd like to share with the group this morning?
Sure. We've been doing 1 hour a day call blitz with our sales staff. Over the last 2 weeks, we've set 36 appointments, and we're running those appointments. Now we're working on the closing ratio to make sure we can track it, but it works. And this all goes, this is not about me or any manager from NJ Advanced Media. This is about our staff using your tool, the way that you taught them, John, and that we as leaders support that effort. So thank you for the tool. And the staff is really liking this and they're utilizing it.
Well, I appreciate you guys very much, the opportunity in this crazy world we're in, to really help you guys break through and help the local businesses. As I think Michael said, and Brad, you got to get their attention first with what's in it for them, the opportunity, the benefit for them, by differentiating yourself that you have the information about and for their business. So I really appreciate it.
So can you ask Jack Molds? He's had a lot of success with appointment setting. Just a few words from Jack.
Oh, sure. Jack, I didn't know you were with us. Thank you so much for joining us.
No, thanks for having me. And yeah, I'll just piggyback real quick off of what Brad and Mike and Rhonda have said. You have to separate yourself. My approach has been a little bit more phone-based, but again, it's about separating yourself. Local businesses probably get on average 10 to 12 calls a day, from other companies doing the same thing we do. So my approach has been, just to make it more personal. Introduce myself from NJ.com. It gives me instant credibility. We have the advantage in our marketplace that pretty much everyone is already familiar with NJ.com. So once I have that foot in the door, just pick up the vibe of the person that you're speaking with. And, sometimes you might have to say, hey, this may sound completely out of left field, but the reason for my call is we just completed an independent third-party survey of our readership. So I wanted to set up a day and time to connect with you next week regarding the survey, and then specifically the 2,640 local households which told us they have a need for your service. And if it's a gatekeeper, I've had them say, that I'm not surprised at that number. We've been swamped. If I'm able to get through the decision maker, chances are I can usually book the appointment. So, I've always said, of all the tools that we have, I've always liked Pulse the most. I think it's the easiest to use. And since this latest redesign, it's been even more so. So That being said, I was able to book 9 appointments going into last week, 8 going into this week. And like Rhonda said, we're now starting to see the transition where some of those discovery calls are going into second discovery calls because people like what they're hearing and they want to bring more people in to hear what we have to say. And then also those first time calls are now leading to recommendation and proposal calls. So all in all, it's been a real success since the launch of the redesign. So thank you, John.
Thank you so much, Jack. Is there anybody else with us this morning who would like to share any success ideas, you know, using the new Pulse appointment enhancements? Okie dokie. Well, we sure appreciate it. Now, let's take a quick tour and go through the new enhancement tools, just sharing some ideas. And I am very proud to say that the Pulse team has been very, very busy doing some reprogramming to take Brad's idea and make it easy and automatic for you. So let me show you. So on your home screen, you know, with the redesign, it's all about finding the right prospects and then obviously breaking through and getting that appointment with them. So let's click on here on one of the prospecting tools, finding best prospects, most sold since the pandemic. And let's go down here and click on one. Well, let's take just a second here. Bank. Bank's a good one. Number 3 most sold. So obviously you click on find. And by the way, you can change the zip code, the geography here. But what Pulse has done, we've made a pivot from product centric to like the teaser, one page, the flyer, to providing you with the email suggestion, the words to say, you know, to break through on a phone call to get the appointment. So all you do is just click. And by the way, for those of you who have the full program, you can create a call list very quickly by just clicking on Add to Call Planner. But let's take a look here. So we click on Connect, and now the options available for you. What do you want to do? I want to do a drop-in call. I want to do a spec ad, a phone call, an email. But let's take a look at the implementation of Brad's idea. So we click on email, and up will populate an email with the subject line. Thank you, Brad, so much. I need a new bank. And as Brad said, what's in it for them? What they want to hear about. Thank you again, Brad. We appreciate it. But just take it a look at the email. And this is suggested. This is the suggested email. But it really focuses on the opportunity for them. I need a new bank. Look at that in this example here, 23,000 local households, by the way, that are your audience, plan to change or use a new bank. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Isn't that something they want to hear and gets their attention? And then it gives them a couple bullet points, like Brad said, on opportunities for them to get additional customers and business. So the Pulse suggestion, you can either put in the email right here and email it to the business, or you can just cut and paste and put it into your own email and personalize it a bit. So simple as that. So Pulse is in the process of programming now for the subject line for each one of the business categories, the I need a Brad subject line. I need a new bank. I need a chiropractor. I need a sofa, etc. I need a new car. I need a realtor to list my home. That's what gets through. And by the way, when they say, yeah, let's get together, it automatically has created the flyer for you that has the information, you know, with the specific opportunity for their business category that was in the email, along with additional areas of opportunity for that business. So let's click off there if I might. And this time we'll click on a different business category here and quickly show you the phone call. Okay, so we click on, you know, a realtor here. Once again, it'll populate with realtors in your area. You could add it to your call plan, but let's just click on a realtor here. And this time, let's show you how fast and easy it is to create the talking points, the words to say on a phone call. So it gives you the business, the phone call. Remember, these are suggested words. These are the bullet points, what's in it for them. So it just kind of flows. Hi, John Marling from the Valley Times to help local businesses during these uncertain times. We participated in UX survey. We asked the same questions you would ask of our audience. You plan to change or get a new realtor. That grabs their attention because it's their business. Here's what we found out. Information I thought you might like. Over 1,800 local households said yes, they next plan to change or get a new realtor. Okay, 938 plan to sell a personal residence. My gosh, with listings being so tight, that absolutely grabs their attention. So in summary, on the phone call, it's like the email and focuses on what they want to hear, like Brad said, the opportunity for them. And once again, you can click off here and you got your your flyer that you can print and take out on the appointment. And while we're here, you've got the link to a spec ad. It's for those of you who have the Metro Creative Graphics program, we can populate in your Pulse program a link to your Metro Spec Ad Wizard program. It's a beautiful thing. Why? Because Pulse shows them the opportunity. And obviously, a consistent campaign is what helps them get a larger share of your opportunity. I think Brad said, show them how you reach that opportunity. So spec ad ties right into this. Then we've also got the drop-in word. So once the pandemic eases, and it looks like it's going to be, it gives you the words to say. And this is based upon what I've learned from over 2,000 four-legged sales calls. When you walk in the door, make darn sure you share with them the good news that you have opportunities because of the questions asked in a real estate survey when you're a realtor. When you walk into a car dealer, it's an automotive survey. When you walk into a chiropractor survey, asking the same questions they would ask. It works every single time in grabbing their attention and their interest so they want to talk to you. And so the drop-in is very, very effective in helping you, break through. So that's a quick overview of the program. And we appreciate any suggestions or questions to support@pulseresearch.com. And in closing, I've got a couple of suggestions here, if I might. So let me just go back to the PowerPoint here. Okay. And let me make sure it's sharing on the screen. Yes, it is. There we go. And here are my suggestions. 1, 2, 3. Tip of the spear. Start the conversation about their business with the email, the phone call, and especially the email words. I need a chiropractor. I need a lawyer. Then share your proposal, your campaign idea, and how to reach their audience. Also share a spec ad if you've got the Metro Ad Wizard program to share with them. Make it easy for them to say yes, because they realize that this campaign with this spec ad will break through and help them get a larger share. And as Brad mentioned, for those of you who had the full Pulse program, number 4, the Pulse Break-Even Calculator. It's a phenomenally effective tool and resource to help overcome the financial uncertainty and fear. Why? Because with their input on customer value and their cost of goods, it shows them how few customers they need to pay for a campaign. I'm talking about a 52-week campaign. Let's not leave money on the table here, because the number of customers, new customers they need to pay for the campaign, i.e. break even, is so low compared to what the opportunity is. For instance, they might only need 10 new will and trust customers out of 3,000 that you reach are going to change their will or trust. I've had so many times with the break-even calculator, they say, well, that's a no-brainer. Let's get going. So on behalf of the Pulse team and Sammy Papert of Wormhole, we want to thank you so much for the privilege and opportunity to support you. And thank you, Brad, Michael, and Rhonda, for being with us this morning. And Brad, for sharing your awesome breakthrough idea. We sure appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, and have a fantastic day.